As technology expands for taxi service company Uber, so do its problems. On Monday, the city of Portland, Oregon sued Uber, and now 2 cities in California are joining suit. And with us now to see what's next for the $40 billion company is Michael Gorman, editor-in-chief at Engadget. And let's start, Michael. It seems that one thing after the other for Uber just keeps popping up. It was a rape case in India, smear campaigns against its journalist critics, and according to a report, ordering thousands of rides from a rival taxi service and then canceling them. Yet Uber is still in business. Is there a line that will eventually hurt its business, or can it just keep on dying this many deaths and keep on going?
Well, I have to believe that there's got to be a line out there somewhere. Clearly, we haven't gotten there yet because every time that Uber seems to have a little bit of a stumble, I mean, people continue to use the service, and I think it's just a testament to kind of its utility. And Uber was, the first mover in the space. They've really popularized ride sharing, and they've shown that a need was there. And it's going to take a tremendous amount. I think it's far more likely, less so than a misstep, it will be some sort of regulatory decision or governmental entity. That seems to be the biggest threat to Uber right now, I think.
All right, so speaking of that, on Monday, Portland sued Uber. Now, today we're hearing that the district attorney offices in LA and San Francisco are also joining in. Is it your opinion? I mean, we're looking for what you think. Are these claims about maybe background checks not being done zealously or overcharging valid, or are they overdone by these regulators and law enforcement officials? How will Uber really get out of this kind of a mess?
I think the background checks are certainly part of the issue. When you're growing as quickly as Uber is, and they have yet to be subject to the same kinds of requirements and licensing that's gotten them in trouble with taxis, and that's kind of an ongoing issue that's still to be determined. I think it kind of goes both ways in the sense that I think governments are trying to figure out how to deal with Uber because it's a new thing. It doesn't operate the same way that taxis do, which is what they've been accustomed to dealing with. And they know that Uber doesn't fit into existing schemes, but they know they've got to do something. On the other hand, Uber itself needs to be, I think, really cognizant of making sure that they've got good drivers, that they are, giving passage in well-maintained vehicles and those kinds of things. And they do that. But whenever you've got to grow, ultimately, I think the choice is generally going to be made, well, we've got to grow and get more drivers and get people on the road so that way we can keep having more and more people using the service. And then you're going to have some things potentially slip through the cracks. And I think that's what's happened with Uber, as they've grown so explosively in the last year. And I think once it kind of matures a little bit and the growth slows some, it'll be easier to keep up with those kind of, I think, administrative parts and other aspects of maintaining the business, improving the business instead of just growing the business.
I mean, Michael, so let's talk about this, because what exactly is the future for Uber then? You're talking about a technology company, maybe a transport company. If it is a transport company, at $40 billion, it's worth more than Delta Airlines, worth more than CSX Rail, Norfolk Southern, some of the most established industrial companies in America. What is the future for Uber and other taxi service companies, and are they worth $40 billion?
I certainly think that they are worth it. It's proven its utility everywhere. This is why it's grown to be as big as it is. And I don't think that on-demand transportation's going anywhere anytime soon. This is one of those things that it was always bringing kind of a luxury experience to in an affordable package. That's really what UberX amounts to, and that's what Lyft and Sidecar and all these other competitors can do. It's just a better experience than having to deal with swiping a card and all the kind of friction that comes with taxi services so many places. Uber, it's easy. You just get in, get out, get picked up when you need to, dropped off wherever you want. And that's very attractive, and that's always going to be that way, particularly in, metropolitan areas. I think that, there's opportunities for other on-demand things. I mean, Uber's already started trying to get into the delivery service, and I think you're probably going to see a lot more growth there if they can, continue to stick around. I think that's an area that's, again, going to be less regulated, and if they already have their fleet of drivers and vehicles that they can use, I think you're going to be looking at a lot more maybe like Google Shopping Express type competition coming from places like Uber as well.
Gotcha. So it's the ease, the utility, and possible expansion that makes Uber's future at least bright, in your opinion, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Michael Gorman, editor-in-chief of Engadget. And thanks for watching TechBed. I'm Dominic Chu. Have a great day. We'll see you next time around.